For years, the public memory of Amanda Bynes was frozen in a single frame. Loud characters, elastic facial expressions, effortless timing. A teenager who looked completely at ease performing absurdity. But that image only works if childhood is allowed to remain childhood. This wasn't about a career collapsing. It was about identity forming inside a brand that was already profitable. At 13, she wasn't simply cast on Nickelodeon, she was engineered as a format. The Amanda Show didn't just feature her, it was structured around her elasticity. Every sketch reinforced a single public truth. She was the joke and the engine. That works when the audience grows with you. It destabilizes when they don't. By the time she transitioned into scripted roles like What I Like About You, the industry expectation was clear. Maintain the tone, soften the edges, remain familiar. The market doesn't reward sudden interiority, it rewards consistency. But adolescence doesn't operate on brand logic. As her audience aged, so did she. The problem was that her public identity had been defined before her private one solidified. When early fame hardens perception, experimentation reads as deviation, and deviation invites correction. The shift didn't begin with scandal, it began with misalignment. Romantic comedies in the late 2000s attempted to reframe her, still funny, still bright, but now positioned as conventional leading lady. The tone narrowed, the elasticity tightened. It looked like maturity, it felt like constraint. Because the earlier success had not just made her famous, it had fixed her coordinates in the cultural map. Any move outside that grid created friction. Then the friction became visible. Legal incidents, erratic public appearances, headlines that flattened complexity into spectacle. The narrative hardened quickly. Child star unravels. But that explanation is incomplete. Early fame compresses developmental space. When a person's adolescence is monetized, growth becomes risky. Every shift is evaluated against revenue, expectation, nostalgia. Private confusion becomes public data. And once instability becomes the story, the system responds defensively. Distance, silence, containment. Notice what followed. Not a calculated comeback, not a strategic rebrand. Withdrawal. Fashion school. Long stretches away from cameras. An attempt to rebuild identity in a context that did not require punchlines. The public interpreted that as disappearance. But disappearance from spectacle is not disappearance from life. The earlier narrative, that she was a prodigy who lost control, misses the structural pressure underneath. She did not fail at adulthood. She entered it without privacy. When success arrives before self-definition, the cost is not relevance. It is the right to evolve quietly. And once that right is gone, stepping away is not retreat. It is reclamation. The public story froze at the collapse. The structural story begins much earlier, when performance replaced development, and the brand outpaced the person. What early fame took from Amanda Bynes was not stability, it was time.